Hey guys, this is Senior Hawgball Analyst Noah.
And this is Walt Kelly.
And this is Hawgball. All right, Noah.
We're still bringing that intensity, just like the Hogs were today against Baylor.
Tell you what, we got this team just like in a basketball game. You know, you get it going, and we're heading in the right direction. We just kind of get a little off the rails a little bit, and I think it's worthy of taking a drink real quick. You know.
Cheers.
Cheers. Sorry if it's a little smoky in here. We had to take our meds.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going in the right direction. We had a big opportunity today to get a big win for NCAA business and all that.
Yeah.
But regardless of today's win or not, we're going to have to take care of business in the SEC. This didn't hurt us in the SEC.
Totally. I just believe that game, we were the better team, you know? I agree. And when you're talking about NCAA tournament propositions and where we're at in that, I think the thing we have on our side in that front is that the computers really like us. You know, we don't really have that many huge high quality wins. Our best win in terms of the computers is probably San Diego State still.
And Oklahoma looking good after today.
Yeah,
hey,
that's true.
Noah, how do those computer rankings work? And am I right in saying that today, of course, the win versus Baylor would have meant a lot, but the loss versus Baylor doesn't really hurt us, does it? Is that how it works?
Not in the computers. The loss versus Baylor can also, it can even help us.
Right.
In some of these, they all use different metrics and everything.
It's matched up to where that's what's supposed to happen.
But yeah, when they're measuring efficiencies, they have different multipliers depending on how highly ranked the team you're playing against is. And so playing good teams, even if you lose, as long as you lose in a close game like this, you're usually it's actually gonna move you up in the rankings rather than down.
That's why it's an opportunity. It's like going to a job interview and you got a chance to get a good job, but they liked you, they want to take a look at you, but you didn't quite get the job done.
Yeah. Well, and you can make the argument that this game really was almost taken away from us in terms of
a few ways.
5 free points were given on a clear, and again, you're not going to see us complain about refs in most of these Hogball episodes because, you know, it's useless, and a lot of the times when you complain about refs, you know, it was both sides. But you got to say something. There were multiple just blatant missed calls, and we still beat them in the first half by 6, with them getting 5 free points from that and one. Makel Mitchell completely straight up, completely feats that textbook charge. They call a block. It was the and one. They made the free throw, and then Coach Mutz gets the tech out of it. And another 2 points.
And that's blaring. You were in the house watching it on the TV. I was out listening to Chuck, and I knew exactly what had happened because Chuck explained it to it perfect what was going on. Noah comes out, says to me the same things that Chuck just said to me. And after last year, you know, with Jalen Williams on our team and everything, we saw a lot of charges, and we saw a lot of them go our way. Now and then we'd see them not go our way, but boy, the charge karma, law of averages is going to have to catch up to us, and we're going to have to start getting some of those calls.
I really hope so. And but just a couple of notes on the game, if you will. I think it's been our downfall all season is the fouls and the turnovers and also free throws. The free throws, we didn't shoot well. I think we were 6 of 11, but we only took 11, so it didn't hurt us that much.
4 of those were Jalen Graham's.
Yep. And then Devo at the end, who he was trying to miss it. That was a cool tidbit if you didn't catch Coach Muss's interview. That play they ran, apparently it's an old Hubie Brown play from back in the day, and we practiced it and waited for an opportunity. So that's a design miss from Devo, and then they've got Pinion going to the corner, and it was a great tip, I believe, by Jalen Graham.
It's real nice to have that edge, to have that coach bus edge. I mean, and when he was talking about it, he was casual. It's like, yeah, we knew how to do it. Yeah. Did it like it was supposed to, and
I'm sure we've got, now that if teams want to watch film on that, I'm sure we've got another play. But like, a lot of positives to come out of this game. Obviously, the turnovers are bad. Mekhi Mitchell, Mikal, a couple of them trying to pass out of the post and across the court. It's just, those are some frustrating ones. You know, Devo didn't have his best stuff in terms of taking care of the ball.
He did make a killer pass he looked out of control when he was there by the free throw. And I guess when he was getting out of control, he must have made eye contact with Anthony in the corner, because he went the other way and wasn't looking, and went bam, and Anthony was there underneath the basket for the stuff. That was nice.
Yeah, but going back to the positives, obviously the turnovers. But Baylor, that is in KenPom, which ranks offensive and defensive efficiency, they're the number 2 ranked team in the entire country offensively. We held them to 33.9% from the field. That's got to be one of their worst marks of the season.
Flagler's worst game of the year. Only scored at the free throw line.
Yeah, Flagler, who is, a veteran guy. He was on the national championship team, and Devo handled him like he should. And we keep saying that Devo's the best defender in the SEC. Well, he might be the best on-ball defender, off-ball, shutdown guard defender in the whole country.
That alone gives him NBA potential. He's a guy that you wouldn't think would be what NBA scouts are looking at, but he demands attention there. And we're talking about a Hog defense there that their second best defender, Jordan Walsh, played 19 minutes because they were doing the whole not touching him, but we're going to call a foul.
Yeah, anyway. I really haven't ever seen a player get so many ticky-tack fouls called on him almost every single night.
If he's in therapy, I know he's talking about it.
It's ridiculous. He had those back-to-back that were 3 and 4 for him. And
that was a tough little sequence.
Yeah, and I know that he and also Mekhi Mitchell, both of them foul out in this game. They still have work to do in terms of some of their defense. They commit some bad fouls. But I didn't see very many bad fouls on either of them in this game. It was just, and there are so many calls you can go back to. Anthony Black having a putback, pretty much dunk. The guy is pushing him as he was dunking, and then I don't think he really meant to, but he tackles him after the play.
That's a call.
That's got to be something. I guess they thought it was incidental, but I mean, you look at the box score. Obviously, Ricky Council jumps out to you, and that's
good to see him back.
That's huge after 2 pretty just ineffective offensive games. He looked very good. Nobody on Baylor could guard him. He was the reason they had to go to the zone in the second half, and then he ended up picking apart the zone a bit to make him go back to man. Yeah, just really good to see him going, because that guy is, you can see why he's on these draft boards and moving up draft boards since the start of the season.
He and I think Anthony Black has really got Coach Buss's trust and everything, but the minute they would drop out of that zone, it was like, and go man to man, it was like Anthony Black got the ball to Ricky Council's hand. Nobody could stop him one-on-one out there. Every time he got underneath the hoop, he was scoring. It was like a layup.
At ease, yeah.
And it's nice to see that check, so we can have it either way. We didn't have anything out of Pinion tonight. A lot of things just didn't go our way. A lot of those Baylor shots would bounce all around the rim and go in, whereas our ball would bounce all around the rim and not go in. A lot of these averages are going to catch up, and let's hope they catch up like when we play back-to-back Tennessee and Alabama on the road, or when we go Texas A&M to South Carolina Kentucky later on this week. Things are going to go our way, and it's time to do it.
For sure. And yeah, you brought up Anthony Black, and it was clear that he banged knees with a Baylor player early in the game, and you could just tell he's playing through some. I wouldn't call him. I mean, Coach Musk kind of said injuries, but he's hurt, but he's not injured, and he's gonna. I mean, that guy showed a lot of toughness. 35 minutes tonight. That's huge. And then another guy I think we should bring up is Jalen Graham. You know, had some good, really, really good plays and some not so good plays. I mean, defensive rebounding, he was outstanding. End of the game with 9 rebounds, and he had the tip out to Joseph Pinion, if I'm not
that's
mistaken.
Clutch. It seems to me that I don't know. I was mentioning it to you. He seemed a little out of sync. He would get that shot that we would love for him to have.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, he was hesitating. And what hurt us real bad with that is that's when a couple of those turnovers happened, was when he didn't take that shot. So he didn't even get a chance for it to go in because he didn't.
Yeah, he was tentative, and I think you haven't really seen that a whole lot from him. You've seen him pretty ready to shoot the ball a lot, and I mean, I love that. I love that floater he's got, that little jump hook floater that, I mean, he can get it off on anybody without really a chance to block it. It's almost impossible to block. But yeah, this game, I don't think it's going to hurt our resume. It almost even helps our resume a little bit in terms of the NCAA tournament.
People are looking at us. They know everybody knows we're legit.
But the thing is, with the tournament, what we really can't have are bad losses. This game at A&M, and now they're rising up. They're 6-1 in the SEC, but you can't. They just won at Auburn by double digits. But
we barely got a win last year against them. They were 2-1 against us.
Didn't they knock us out of the SEC tournament too?
They beat us bad at A&M, and we had to take them to overtime to win in Fayetteville. Yeah,
and so those are that's a home loss that you just can't afford to have. And now you just they gotta take every game one game at a time, and I think they'll be okay. Let's see if we've got anything else on this Baylor game.
It's really a big week because, that A&M is one of those gotta wins. And then after we win that gotta win, you're on the road to South Carolina. All right, guys, it looks like we had a little technical difficulty, but our production team rushed in here, got things back going for us. And
shout out to our brilliant production team. You can see it's a high-value show we got going on here.
Really appreciate that, Rachel and Todd.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Rachel wanted me to mention, hit that subscribe button. Like and comment if you're digging what's going on. Helps us out in the algorithm so we can keep doing what we're doing. So we got the Facebook page going. We're trying to coordinate things.
We got TikTok, Twitter coming soon. And it's big times here at Hawgball.
All sorts of things. We got things for the future. We'll be breaking down the tournament bubbles and all that stuff. And we'll be talking about Hogs history. And just going to keep having lots of fun here at Hawgball talking about the Arkansas Razorbacks.
But anyway, let's continue. Don't want to bore the audience too much with our production. I think a huge point from this game, and we've seen it all year, especially from guys like AB, is at the end of games, when we're down, and like Coach Musk called it clock management, but also, I mean, the guys are making the shots when they're taking them when we're down. And when we're down to the territory where we've got to foul them and we've got to get quick buckets, we've looked fantastic. Now, a lot of those games we haven't won because the other team made the free throws.
But we did it. That Missouri game is amazing. It's like, okay, these guys need to know we got to play with urgency. Well, they do. And they were clutch with urgency.
Mm-hmm. You go from a game, I think we were down 7. Baylor has the ball with a minute
14, I think.
Minute 15 left, and we end up having a wide open three to tie the game.
It's amazing.
You know, you didn't hit it, and it looks like Pinion was maybe just a little too far in the corner, and it hit the top of the backboard. But you know, there are just a lot of things to like, and you can tell that you know they're really, the team enjoys playing with each other, and they're really becoming a real team.
Devo taking a lot of leadership there. Him and Anthony would kind of discuss what was going to go on with the play. And yeah, low scoring game there though, but our offense was pretty efficient. You take away those turnovers, it was brilliant.
I think Baylor, they had how many? They had 6 more shot attempts than us. We shot 50.9% from the field. They shoot 33.9.
Wow.
I mean, they get into the bonus with 5 minutes gone in the second half. And what are you going to do with a team that shoots the free throws 87% tonight? And
I quietly, I didn't
season.
say anything to you or young Cooper, but I was wondering if we were going to be able to stay in the game at that point, because I know Baylor's reputation is being able to score a lot at the free throw line like we did last year. We'll win ball games, and we hung right in there with them, y'all.
For sure. I think just only other thing I have is that, I don't know, Kamani seems to be in a little bit of a funk.
I was thinking the same thing.
You know, it's just he's come in there and he'll just do something here or there, and you know how Coach Muss is with a tight leash. Yeah, he's got a quick trigger in terms of taking guys out of the game if they're not doing what he wants. But I have all the faith in Kamani Johnson that he'll be back, because he's a guy that we need. He's a big and he can rebound, but he also is a little bit more versatile defensively than some of our other guys, and can guard smaller players a little bit better than like a Mikal Mitchell or even a Graham or Makai Mitchell.
Yeah, that was Hunter Yurchek said the Big 12 got us a little bit, a reference to the Big 12 officiating there. But with the SEC Big East, our Big 12 challenge, I think we should mention a couple of notable things that happened today. Is that Oklahoma beat Alabama by 23 points today. And Alabama was knocking on number one's door. So that win ends up looking pretty good for us.
Yep.
And Missouri had a field day.
It's a neutral floor win, too.
Oh, nice.
The
Oklahoma game, yep.
Yeah.
And Missouri had a field day at home against ranked Iowa State. So Hogs have a lot to be proud of. Young players are going to learn how to win, and they're putting themselves in the position to. We just gotta get some of those breaks going our way, and let the good things happen and keep happening.
Yeah, it's just from watching that game. I mean, huge, widely entertaining game. But they're just, I can't help but feel good about this team. You know, that as much as that loss hurts, and that win would be our best win of the year by far. Still haven't won a road game. You still have to like where we're headed, especially with the prospect maybe of Nick Smith coming back. But even without him, this team proved today that they held maybe the best offensive team in the entire country, held them to 67 points and held them to less than 34% from the field. So there are a lot of things to like, and I got all the faith in the world in them.
And now here at Hawgball, we're obviously homers. We love the Hogs, but we're not the kind of people who are going to be happy about losses. But here you have the last 2 losses we've had here. You can go back, check the videos on YouTube. Both Noah and I we've been pretty pleased with our losses. They've been good losses. If there's no such thing as a good loss, but if there is, that's what we've had.
I mean, you look at the LSU loss and the Auburn loss and the Vandy loss. Those were not.
We weren't partying then.
But the 2 road performances, Missouri and Baylor, even though we didn't get the win, both 3-point losses. you got to be happy with the way the guys fought and played.
Yeah, those games are kind of the difference between drinking because for the right reasons or drinking for the wrong reasons. And that LSU Vandy game, you might drink for the wrong reasons in.
Yep. And I just can't help but feel like we were the better team in that Baylor game. If you go back and watch, I mean, you get Jordan Walsh in foul trouble, and not only in the first half, but then he gets those 2 quick fouls in the second half, and he was our guy that was guarding George primarily, and that caused Anthony Black, who was already dealing with a lot of pain in this game. That's why George started going off. I thought Walsh played well on him when he was guarding him. It's just.
I agree with Noah there. I think we're the better team there, and I'll tell you what. I bet that weasel Scott Drew. Excuse me, guy's a weasel. I bet that Scott Drew feels the same way. I bet he's like, woohoo! Can't believe we got out of there with a win.
What are they throwing out there nowadays? A mouth breather.
Oh, that's a funny one.
Anyway, I think we should get on to A&M because we do have to move on, like the Hogs also do. And Coach Muss said the locker room, he was like he felt for the guys, but I have all the faith in the world that they will bounce back and they'll be very hungry against a very good Texas A&M team.
We get to get back on the court on Tuesday again this week, huh?
Yep. So only 2 days without Hog basketball, and then we got a Tuesday night game, and A&M, as we're recording this, their game with Vanderbilt just started, so we don't know how that game is going to go. But if you look back at them so far in SEC play, they're 6-1. Their only loss being at Kentucky, I believe last Saturday. Just won at Auburn by 16.
Oh, they snapped Auburn's home winning streak.
They beat Missouri.
That's encouraging.
They beat Missouri at home, but then at Florida's not a bad win, but Florida's not not as good as people thought they'd be this year.
They've won at Florida and at Auburn. We don't have any road wins yet, so I think this is a dangerous team.
Absolutely, and just looking at them matchups wise, they. Nobody on their team averages 30 minutes a game. So they are a deep team, and they're going to have a lot of guys contributing, and they're going to play as a unit. They're going to play good defense. They're a team that's not great at any one thing, except maybe getting to the free throw line and converting. That's probably their biggest strength. That's what they like to do. They like to draw a lot of FTAs. And they're a very good free throw shooting team. But other than that, they're just good at everything. And all their guys know their role. Their leading scorer, Wade Taylor the fourth. So we got Ricky Council the fourth versus Wade Taylor the fourth.
And I'm Walter McKelly the fourth.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Only on Hawgball.
Only on Hawgball. We have 3 different guys named the fourth. But Wade Taylor averaging 14.8 points per game. And they are also a team that commits a lot of fouls. They actually average more fouls committed than we do, which is amazing.
You might have a misprint there. I don't know. I'll believe that whenever I see it.
So I think the keys
Wait, did you say they have more fouls than us?
Yeah, it's not by much. Just by like 0.2 or so.
That's a lot of fouls.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a team that's really confident right now. Buzz Williams, great coach. One of I think the most underrated coaches in the SEC.
There's quite a buzz about him.
But let's see. It's just a game where we're gonna have to go out and play hard.
Well, that's all they could do is they could get out there and play basketball. Coach Muss was rumbling in the post game about, Bob was wanting Coach Muss to whine about the short turnaround.
We love you, Bob.
Love you, Bob Hull. So, how do you feel about the short turnaround after being on the road and coming home on a Tuesday game? How do you like that? So Bus brought up some of the injuries and everything, but the best thing for a loss when you feel like you should have won
is a quick
to
turnaround.
get back on the game.
It's a quick turnaround.
Those young players are ready to play basketball. I guarantee it.
For sure. I'm fired up for it too. It should be a good atmosphere on a Tuesday. I don't think that the town has lost faith in the guys. You know, I don't think there's a whole lot more to say.
I think that I'll just say that I'm happy with what's going on. Things were looking a little bleak, and when we were playing a little bit of hopefulness there, and we were saying, well, we got a lot of chances ahead to get better.
Yeah.
We got better.
There were some times, I mean, that Vandy loss, maybe it wasn't looking good for these guys, but you got to tip your hat to them, and because they put in the work, and it's showing off, and I'm just... like I said, there's no group of guys I'd rather root for than these fellas right there.
I'm excited. Before we go, let's point one more time at Ricky Council. Way to be there for us, Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need
You're the
you.
Man.
He's the leading scorer on the team for a reason, and he was right with the flow with us today. I think we were a little hard on him the last couple games, so I'm glad to see that because we're a pro
Ricky Council show.
Definitely team Ricky Council the fourth here.
You know, we're also team Anthony Black. We like him.
Love AB.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I like Devo too.
Yeah.
And I like Jordan Walsh. I like Joseph Pinion. I love the Mitchell twins. I love Kamani. I love this Razorback team. I'm really excited. I was glad to see Barry Dunning Jr. get out there today.
Yes, sir. I love Barry Dunning Jr. Seems like he the team really likes him, you know, and for whatever reason he's not getting in the game.
We have some good guards.
We do have a pretty deep group of guards here, so you know, you can understand that. I hope he likes being here. Just he knows that we love him. We're team Jalen Graham too, man.
We're team Jalen Graham. Boy, there could be, I don't know, whenever I envision March basketball, y'all, I see a game late and I just see 3 straight possessions with great Jalen Graham shots keeping us in a game, and then us hitting a wide open Joseph Pinion for a game-winning 3 and advancing. That's what we're going to do, win and advance.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a win and advance on Tuesday. Let's call it, all right?
All right, woo pig.
Hey, thanks for watching Hawgball. We'll see you next time, only on Hawgball. Boom!